Hello. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Zoe from Phala Network, also global head ambassadors of Polkadot. And actually, I have been following like her path for a while, and she does a great job in these positions, of course, and like a lot of great contribution to the whole ecosystem. And today we will focus more on her position as an ambassador and her achievement in the last years. And how are you doing, Zoe? I think there have been like a lot of things around recently, right? And like a lot of events have been made um under your management. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Chris. It's great to kick off this interview series with you. Um, I'm doing great. I'm joining from Berlin today, and it's a lot of things going on in the Polkadot ecosystem. I think we are focusing a lot on the Polkadot Ambassador program today, as well as events that I'm involved in a lot. And I mean, overall, what I can say, but we are diving more deeper into this later on, that the amount of events that are have been created by community, as well as the amount of events that have been sponsored lately, are or have been increased a lot. And this is amazing to see because it actually shows how much the brand of Polkadot is growing and how many motivated people we have in the community to create events and educate about our technology. So overall, very, very great times to be in.
Yeah, thanks. So I think you have a really great reputation in Polkadot, especially like you are some kind of role model of a lot of Polkadot ambassador. So, and for me to learn, of course. But can you introduce again about yourself, your background, and how did you evolve to blockchain? Because I believe that like Polkadot Insider, we target to a lot of new users who actually um like are new to Polkadot. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And these are exactly the people that we want to attract, right? So I also wanted to say that you with Polkadot Insider, you do a great job in like actually expanding our community. So thank you for this, Chris. A bit about like my background. So I'm from Berlin and I moved to the States for actually my master programs. And one that I did was in international business, and the other one or later on, I moved to Silicon Valley. And of course, as you know, Silicon Valley is like all about the tech. And this was actually my deep dive in 2018 into the blockchain and crypto world. So I spent some time there and got actually introduced to the Bitcoin and as well as the Ethereum community. Met a lot of great people there and found, besides the tech, also the community very interesting, the people that I was meeting, right, that are building on blockchain technology. So I had a lot of friends also that worked in this space and were doing a lot of projects. So this got me very interested. And then I actually decided to do a second master's in information and cybersecurity. So I have my background from the security aspect. And then it was very clear to me that blockchain is a new technology that is there for data security, right? And integrity. So my passion was always to see this technology from the security as well as integrity background. And then I very quickly moved into more like the underlying tech instead of, let's say, a lot of people come from the crypto use case, right? They invest and so on. For me, it was actually coming from the underlying tech motivation and inspiration because I studied this and I was saw this innovation in this technology. And back then I was in this scene there in Silicon Valley, but a friend back then, and shoot out actually to Suraj, he's working at Parity. He started to work at Parity back then and made me aware of Polkadot. And I was just looking, like reading the white paper and was getting familiar with the technology. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is so much more innovative than existing chains and Ethereum and Bitcoin. And of course, it's a layer zero, right? So it's a complete different approach. But reading through it, I was like, wow, this is a technology that I want to work on or work with and join this movement. And
Yeah,
the cool thing is also that it was all pre-launch, right? Coming into the space in 2018 is not very late, but also not very early, because there were people already much earlier in the space. But I was not able to join, let's say, a launch of a blockchain itself, or let's say the layer ones. So joining Polkadot in these times were super interesting, because I was part of it before actually the relay chain was being launched, and this made it also. So this motivated me so much to actually educate about what Polkadot is before people can use it. And that then actually started my journey as an ambassador.
yeah. That's absolutely right. You have a great path and a lot of progress that you have made from 2018. Yeah, because basically I was joining the space from like 2020. Yeah, it's quite late for me, but I'm very grateful that like I was joining Polkadot at the beginning when I just like come to cryptocurrency. Yeah. Yeah. So like as you know that we have we Polkadot Insider, we have contributed for Polkadot like in the past few years. No, sorry, in the past few months, and like things going really well. But the path to become an official ambassadors is extremely difficult, and you are like a global ambassadors. Like, so can you tell me, and also the community who want to become an ambassador, like about the path that you have been going through to achieve this position?
Yeah, definitely. Happy to share more on this. So um, I joined as one of the first ambassadors, actually. So back then, the whole ambassador program was a bit different than it is today, of course. And shout out here to Hutch and Dan Risa. So both of them were actually the first initiators of the program itself. And it was very early stage. And back then, again, I was in the States. So it was also very important for the ambassador program to have ambassadors in the United States. And the overall motivation that, or the goal that Chris and Dan were setting up is like, hey, you can make out of this program what you want to make out of it. And this is what why I joined, and what I always still keep as my personal motivation, right? Because I'm an ambassador since 2018, which is quite a long time, and I'm still here to promote the brand in that way. But how my path was is that I came in with this motivation, as I explained to you before, saying that, wow, I'm so inspired by the overall tech. I want to contribute to this. And as a recommendation to new ambassadors, you really need to show your self initiative, saying, hey, what am I good in, and what is the one skill that I would like to contribute to this network and to this community, or several skills, right? It's not tied to, but really saying, hey, this is my best skill, and I would like to give this to the community, of course, with whatever like is connected to this, like of course you get then rewards and so on. But I since I came in so early, I was like, wow, this is so cool tech. How can we actually educate about this? Yeah, so my journey started as an ambassador and saying, I took the initiative and said, hey, I would like to interview the people that are actually behind this tech. So if you check out the Polkadot Crowdcast, yeah, you will come
Yeah.
across a lot of my very early videos that I also did with Bill Laboon back then, with Alistair, that creates like the whole consensus algorithm, with Jutta Steiner. She was back then still CEO of Parity. And this was my self-initiative, because I saw a missing part here. I said, wow, we don't have enough educational content. I love to host and moderate interviews, like like you're doing this with me now, and this is what I brought into the ambassador program. And back then, Dan and Hutch, they saw that I took self-initiative, and they said, "Wow, so you do a great job." Then I started to host meetups, to invite speakers, and this was my self motivation, my contribution. And then when the community managers, right, see this, they start to promote you to different levels. So it was really my personal journey was based on this motivation to educate and to push the Polkadot brand forward wherever I go. And when I started to be at other crypto events, I was always talking about the brand. And this is what the people were seeing and saying, hey, Zoe, you deserve to get promoted and take on this kind of responsibilities. And of course, then there was a restructuring of the program that we had also, like the head ambassador positions, which is a volunteer position, but you have to be aware that it takes quite some responsibility, right? Because you are responsible for some other candidates and ambassadors and so on. I would say this was my personal journey, and just as feedback, it's really what is your personal skill that you would like to contribute, and then you can get a great journey out of it as well.
Yeah, I understand, and I know that there are a lot of like positive things and also a lot of effort that you put into like Polkadot in the last few years. But I believe that like in the past few years, definitely it could have a lot of challenges that you have been met. And like, can you tell me more about that? Because definitely um because you are like an ambassador and you are some kind of representative of the whole Polkadot network. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, just to clarify, there are a lot of other head ambassadors besides me, right? Like global head ambassador for events means that I oversee, manage a lot of, or help also new community members doing and executing events well and in the right way for the global community market. But we also have head ambassadors for specific regions and head ambassadors for content and so on. So just to also give out some credits for the other head ambassadors here.
Yeah.
And of course, it is definitely a responsibility, as I said before. But since it's a voluntary position, and of course, my main work and responsibility is leading growth at Phala Network, you always have to manage your time right? This is something that you need to invest like some thoughts and say, okay, I would like to contribute, but how do I do this? Like, you need to then spend time on your weekends, and this shows like extra contribution to the network. And this is, I would say, one challenge besides like managing it with your full-time responsibilities. And then, of course, since my responsibilities increased from senior ambassador to head ambassador, there are many more requests from other candidates or other ambassadors that you get like DMs and like a lot of questions about it. And this takes also, again, some time, and you need to manage your time right to allocate and get back to them also at the right time for you, but also for them that they feel like appreciated. So I would say this is a challenge overall, but everyone can manage this, and I think it's just a learning curve how to time manage do time management right and all these things.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I definitely like have to learn from you, because currently I'm still the candidate, and if I want to be like some kind of officially ambassador, I have to like be careful with a lot of things around, and be responsive, and like manage time like carefully to have a great job in this, right? And so let's talk a little bit about governance. So I learned that you are learning you are running Polkadot governance track, right? So can you talk more about this?
Yeah, so I'm involved in the Polkadot governance through the events bounty. So as you all know, we have the OpenGov now, and overall the vision here is to decentralize our governance even more, right? We have, okay, it's launched on Kusama. On Polkadot, we still have the council set up, and the overall vision is to actually dissolve the council and give more power to the token holders. So with OpenGov, everyone with tokens can actually vote on proposals and so on. However, before we actually implemented OpenGov, and this is still in place, the council got very overwhelmed with a lot of event requests. And as you know, the council has a lot of different type of people in there with different knowledge bases. And at one point they said, hey, there are so many events, we might maybe not be the best people to decide if this event is valuable to the community or not. We don't have expertise in events. And this was the initial start to look or to build an events bounty. So the council actually, or some council members reached out to me and Mark, who's the other global head ambassador of Polkadot for events, as well as Elodie, who is the community manager for Polkadot from Web3 Foundation. And we said, yes, we would love to create a bounty like this and be the curators, meaning like we can take a little bit of the workload from the council and decide, or let's say contribute fundings that we receive from the council to community events. And the whole process, I must say, took quite a while, right? I think we worked like around 6 months on the overall proposal, just because it was so complex. But the cool thing is about the proposal that it's also based on the child bounty mechanism. And there are only 2 bounties that are live at the moment that are on the child bounty mechanism, with the anti-scam bounty as well as the events bounty. And the events bounty, or having a bounty on child bounty mechanism, means that you have a set of curators, which are only 3 people at the moment, but it enables you to get more curators into the bounty. So you can also actually decentralize the whole decision process in the bounty itself. So this is also the overall goal of the events bounty. We are starting this year to look for other curators that can help us to actually decide on these kind of events. So we get away a little bit from a 3 people multi-sig to a bigger group of people that overall still decide on events and how to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, because like currently, like governance system of Polkadot, like in the past, it used to be like quite complex for users, especially who have like very new, very fresh ideas. And recently, Polkadot would have open governance, and I believe that this could be a very good trigger for like new user to interesting in the ecosystem. Like they could be like participating in governance system more. Yeah. So
Yeah. And just to add to this, it's overall also the bounty itself. What was important for us is that, because we all know how important events are, right? Events are there to push overall the brand, but also to educate and to create a community and expand the community. So we also said, hey, we want to make it easier for the community to apply for funding, because, you know, and we all know like how much time it takes to create a proposal and how long it takes to get the payout. And these are all things that hold people back to actually request the funding for, or to contribute to the community. So another motivation was also, hey, since this is all handled through a bounty, we can make the application process leaner, but it doesn't mean that we have less requirements. We still have very high standards on the requirements to meet or to get funding for an event, but at least it doesn't take like 3 hours, it takes like an hour, so to say, as an example.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. So let's move to the next question. As an ambassador, like we can understand that you are an outreacher of Polkadot Network. So what are the most important things that you always want to tell the world about Polkadot?
This is a great question. So I think overall, Polkadot is not only a technology, right? It's a movement for me. We are all in the Web3 movement, which is a very special space and also time to be in. But Polkadot for me is really something that combines all of this. And I always like to say that technology overall does not have a specific age, right? Technology does not have a gender. Technology is not coming from a specific background. So this means that technology welcomes everyone that wants to contribute to technology. And Polkadot takes this really to the next level, I feel like. Besides the high tech that we have such a diverse background, diversity of people, but also diversity in parachains, right? Diversity in technology that is being built on Polkadot. And this is what excites me the most and what I see very special in comparison to other ecosystems. So if someone asks me what's the most important thing they should know about Polkadot, this would be my answer, because it is quite high level, but I feel like this is the core element why you also want to have people build on Polkadot or join and contribute to the community.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I always want to tell my friends about, because when they want to join the blockchain industry to invest in it, and I always, okay, you can try to like research about Polkadot, because they have a lot of technology. They have diversities and technology in there, and you can like whatever you want, you can like learn from that. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. So this could be a last question. Yeah. So can you give the community who love Polkadot some word about like what are the benefits of a Polkadot ambassador in the long term, and maybe some advices for those who are currently Polkadot ambassador candidates, some good track that they could follow to become like some kind like yours, because you are some kind of like really high position in ambassadors. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I think it's pretty clear, similar to other, let's say, ambassador programs or community, that when you join a Web3 ambassador program, you need to be aware of that you're joining a super decentralized community, right? This is, in one hand side, very exciting. But of course, decentralization is sometimes also, I mean, if there's too much decentralization in terms of like organization, you just have to be aware like how to get along in these kind of communities. But the difference between the communities that you join, decentralized, of course, in Polkadot over other ones, is that I feel like we are in a very futuristic community. And so again, back to like the overall innovative approach of Polkadot itself as a layer 0 for the blockchain space. So this is something to be aware of. And what I would say, like what you get out of it, it's really, as I said in the beginning of this interview, you get out of it what you put in and what you want to get out of it. So it's very important to join the ambassador program with a goal in mind. Like you have like your content creation, right? You do this already. You want to educate, you want to bring new people to the community. And with an ambassador status, you have more opportunity to do so and also get rewarded for this work, right? So this is the first point, to say, okay, join with a specific goal in mind, but also see the opportunity that the ambassador program actually can help you to create your personal brand, right? You can you get to know a lot of people in the ecosystem, in the network. Yeah. You learn the people behind the tech, get to know the people that build Polkadot, and also other parachain people, or other parachain teams. I think this is amazing in terms of these kind of abilities. And to the Polkadot program itself, the ambassador program itself, so we just recently have like a little bit of an upgrade to the program, which means it's very cool. We actually start to put the program on chain, so that all of your activities are actually being tracked with your on-chain identity. And this is also connected to a lot of different rewards that you're actually doing based on your contribution. So besides this, of course, if you create videos or you host events and so on, you can get easier your specific payout for this. But it's very important to understand that the Polkadot Ambassador Program is not, we don't want to attract people that are only here for the rewards, right? Because we want to attract the people that want to contribute and maybe get the reward in terms of like expanding their network, right? Reward doesn't mean always like reward in money. You can get a reward by having a great speaking opportunity, or for you making an interview with Gav, right? For example, or like with me, like these are also rewards that I think is very important to understand, that it's not always related to money. However, of course, we want to get rewarded for the work that we put into. But I think this is very important to understand, and that's how we also go through the different applicants. And something else, just to close this up, what I really like is the ambassadors itself. They are great to work with, especially the head ambassadors. Of course, we always try to move things forward, to create the program in a different way, that everyone that joins new has also great experience, because a lot of us are really in the program since a while. And there are always new ideas that we can contribute. And for example, we are now doing a Polkadot European gathering, ambassador gathering. So the ambassadors come together in Barcelona, and there will be some education sessions and exchanges. And this is great. And we try to expand this, of course, into the United States, to Asia, to different areas as well. So yeah, these are all the benefits.
Yeah, definitely. This is like a to-go video for anyone who loves Polkadot and want to be like an ambassador of Polkadot. Yeah, because so my personal goal is to bring as much as possible people from APAC region, Asia. Yeah, Asia. I want to bring a lot of people to Polkadot from this region. Yeah, so that's my end goal in this journey. Yeah. So yes, perfect. So I'm grateful that you joined me today. And if the community want to learn more about Zoe, and if you want to become an ambassador of Polkadot, I will drop some links below that you can find everything about. Yeah. And this is the end of this interview. Yeah. So see you guys on the next interview, and thank you again, Zoe, yeah, for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, everyone.